No waste silverbeet pakoras. That is spicy, pungent, crunchy. Try one. Oh yeah, that's so good. Okay, they're coming out. Mainly because I have to put them in my mouth. Essentially what's happened is cooking, I've been making some paneer pakoras and I've been left with half a bowl of besan flour batter. And I was looking at tipping it down the sink and then I thought, why would I do that and not just use the rest of it? So no waste is like a really, in all traditional cultures, it's a big thing. And India is no exception. Oh, look, a caterpillar. We were never allowed to throw food away. Part of the practice of masala in our home was always that food was prashad and any leftovers were thrown out the kitchen window to the birds. We lived on some land. That idea of using what's there and being respectful of food because food is an offering from God, that's the Kashmiri Hindu framework, and it's the framework of a lot of regional Indian food traditions because faith is so intrinsically tied into the idea of what masala is. But this is, I'm just gonna wash these up a little. I bought that silver beet to use in a lamb curry, but I can spare a couple of leaves. If you want to make these pakoras and you need to know from start to finish, all you need is half a cup to a cup of besan flour, depending on the amount of produce, chickpea flour. You spice the flour and add cold water until essentially the batter is the consistency of a pancake batter. So your produce is going to hold it when it goes into the hot oil, but chickpea flour is really thick, and when you add water, the initial paste is very, very claggy, and that can get a little too much. One, it's actually hard to coat the produce, and two, it just becomes more batter than vegetable. So with this, what we're going to do is I'm going to add a hard white salt. So I have this white lake salt here that is hard in that it has quite a driving blunt sodium quality. About a teaspoon. I like a little bit of heat in my pakoras, and you need it to push through the batter and the oil. So half a teaspoon of a hot red chili, teaspoon of chili flakes, because yum, especially with silver beet. Bitter greens eat up hot spice, they love it. And then some strong earth spice, a teaspoon of ajwain seed and a half a teaspoon of fennel seed. There's strong digestive spices. That's a lot of spice for a little bit of batter, but you actually need a lot in order for that to translate through the process of the battering and the cooking. So silver beet's just going to get tossed in, and you can do the stalks, which is kind of what makes this so no waste. Pakoras are traditionally eaten as tea time snacks or mid-morning snacks. They're in between meal. Maybe you don't want to stop for lunch. Find a good pakora stand. Unfortunately, they're few and far between in Margaret River. So this oil, again, the no waste. I've already fried in it once. I'm going to fry in it again. And once I've done these pakoras, I'm going to use it again to make some paneer, to fry the paneer. I'm going to wait for that to heat and come back to it. I have my plate, and I'm basically going to put all these in at once, I think, and they might spatter a bit because bitter greens tend to. I might use and filter an oil depending on what I'm frying in it half a dozen times and then dispose of it thoughtfully, i.e. not down the sink or in the drain. So it's almost like a tempura pakora. This batter was quite light, so I'm not going to touch it till it's quite done because I do want it to set onto the leaf. So you can see how I'm turning it. Like, I'm not worried too much that they're sticking together. I don't really want to break it apart because the thing about chickpea batter is with greens, anything green, leafy, it does tend to slip off unless it's very, very thick. And the length of the fry, so I am leaving them in for quite a bit, but one of the key notions of masala is allowing a produce to change character, I guess, or to go through a transference process where it changes texture. And once that textural change happens, masala becomes louder than the carrier or the vehicle. So I'm waiting for that to happen with the greens in the oil. I actually want them to become kind of crispy, and you can see one of the things about greens is because they have so much inherent moisture, it does cool the oil as well. So what I'm waiting is for all of that liquid to kind of come out and for the green to be a bit naked, and that way the masala is what dresses it. That's kind of perfect. Try one. Oh yeah, that's so good. Okay, they're coming out. Mainly because I have to put them in my mouth. The bitterness in the green is what creates such a welcome home party for the masala. And that is spicy, pungent, crunchy, really full, voluminous flavor. And that was a no waste dish. How good's that? To make something from nothing and something so beautiful. Ashy, there's some snacks down here. Do you want to come try? Try that. That's a silverbeet pakora. That's the stem. Maybe try.
Not stem either.
Or that bit.
It's
that
so
was
funny.
good.
I was lying on my pillow on
Yeah.
the floor, watching my show on my phone, and she came and slept on my head.
How good is that?
Oh, it's so good.
You could use these to top a salad. You could serve these on a buffet table. What do you call it? Like a big barbecue spread. You would be everyone's favorite person if you bought these as a potluck. Don't put them in Tupperware because they'll soften. And they are better if you eat them, like fry them and eat them like straight away. I love the spinach baton, like I love the stem. Ah, that's divine. We're going to turn the cameras off now and eat. Yum.